Mom what I thought of Manny's book, and she said that if they were so easy to write, then I should try writing one myself. So that's exactly what I did. Trust me, it wasn't hard either. All you have to do is make up a character with a snappy name and then make sure the character learns the lesson at the end of the book. Now all I need to do is to mail this thing off to a publisher and wait for the money to start rolling in. Wise Up Mr. Sharp by Greg Heffley. Once upon a time, there was this man named Mr. Sharp who thought all these crazy thoughts. I don't know much, but I do know one thing. Polar bears are some useless animals. One day, Mr. Sharp took a ride in his car. Here I go. But then, he fell in a hole. Oops! And then later in the hospital, doctor informed, Mr. Sharp, you would have drowned, but luckily this polar bear Tobok here was sitting on an iceberg and he saved your life. And then Mr. Sharp replied, before I said that polar bears are some useless animals, but now I can see that not every polar bear is so useless after all. The end. See what I mean? The only thing I noticed after I finished the book was that I forgot to make it rhyme, but the publisher is gonna have to pay me extra if they want that. Saturday. Well, after spending the last 2 weeks walking to school, I was really looking forward to kicking back and doing nothing for 2 days. The problem with watching TV on a Saturday is that the only thing that is on is bowling or golf. Plus, the sun comes through our sliding glass window, and you can barely see the TV screen anyway. Today I wanted to change the channel, but the remote was on top of the coffee table. I was all comfortable with my bowl of cereal in my lap, so I really didn't want to get up. I tried using the force to make the remote levitate to me. Even though I have tried it a million times before and it never worked once, today I tried for about 15 minutes and concentrated really hard. But no luck. I just wish I'd known that Dad was standing right behind me the whole time. Dad told me I was gonna have to go outside and get some exercise. I told Dad I exercise all the time, and just this morning I used the bench press he got me. But I should have come up with something more believable, because it was pretty obvious that wasn't true. Because Mom used it as clothes drying rack. See? The reason Dad is on my case about exercise and all that is because he has got this boss named Mr. Warren. And Mr. Warren has 3 boys who are these crazy sports fanatics. Dad sees the Warren kids outside in their front lawn every day on his way home from work when his carpool goes by their house. And they were doing all push-ups and wind sprints and all. So I think Dad is pretty disappointed every time he gets home and sees what his son are up to. Mostly getting in troubles. Anyway, like I said, Dad kicked me out of the house today. I couldn't really think of anything I wanted to do, but then I had a good idea. Yesterday at lunch, Albert Sandy was telling everyone about the guy in China or Thailand or someplace who could jump 6 feet straight up in the air. No joke. The way the guy did it was by digging a hole that was 3 inches deep and then jumping in and out of it 100 times. The next day, the guy doubled the size of the hole and he jumped in and out of that. By the fifth day, he was practically like a kangaroo. Some of the guys at my table told Albert he was full of baloney, but what he was saying made a lot of sense to me. Plus, I figured if I did what Albert said and then added a few days to the program, all my problem with bullies could be over because I could jump straight up out of reach. I got a shovel out of the garage and found a place in the front yard that looked like a good spot to dig. But before I could even get started, Mom came out and asked me what I was up to. I told Mom I was just digging a hole. But of course, she didn't like that idea. So she came up with about 20 reasons why I wasn't allowed to do it. Mom told me it was dangerous to dig in the yard because of underground electrical lines and sewage pipes and stuff. Then she made me promise up and down that I wouldn't dig any holes in our yard. So I promised. You know what? Mom went inside, but then she kept watching me out the window. I knew I was gonna have to take my shovel and go dig a hole somewhere else. So I headed up to Rowley's house. I haven't been going up to Rowley's much lately, mostly because of Fragley. Fragley has been spending a lot of time in his front yard, and sure enough, that's where he was today. And he asked me, "Does this scab smell funny to you?" My new strategy with Fragley is to just avoid eye contact and keep walking. And it seemed to do the trick today. When I got to Rowley's, I told him my idea and how the two of us would practically be ninjas if we stuck with this whole jumping program I planned out. Haha. But Rowley didn't seem so hot on the idea. He said his parents might get mad if we dug a 10-foot hole in his front yard without asking them. So he was gonna have to get their permission first. Now, if there is one thing I know about Rowley's parents, it's that they never like my ideas. I told Rowley we could just cover the hole up with a tarp or a blanket or something and then put some leaves on top of it. And his folks would never even find out. And that seemed to convince him. Okay, so I admit that Rowley's parents might eventually find out. Like Rowley's dad fell down the hole with the lawnmower. But that wouldn't be for at least 3 or 4 months. Me and Rowley found a good spot in the front yard to start digging. But we ran into a problem right away.